Are you considering a move to Charlotte, North Carolina, and you're searching for the perfect neighborhood? If you are, I might have it for you. Today, we are going to be covering everything you need to know about living in Ballantyne. So we are going to talk about what it's like to live in Ballantyne. We are going to tour a few neighborhoods with different housing styles, different price points, and almost most importantly, we are going to talk about why living in Ballantyne today might look a lot different in the very near future. Let's get into it. So let's start by getting a handle on what Ballantyne actually is, because it's not just one neighborhood. So think of Ballantyne as one area with a bunch of different neighborhoods within it. And Ballantyne is one of the newest areas in Charlotte. It wasn't established until the 1990s. And prior to that, this whole area was just vacant farmland. Ballantyne was envisioned as a master plan community featuring upscale residential and business areas, with the Ballantyne Hotel and Golf Course serving as its focal point. Living in Ballantyne, all of your retail, your commercial spaces, housing, everything's going to be on the newer side. Now, geographically, Ballantyne is in South Charlotte. It's going to sit right on the border of North Carolina and South Carolina. Ballantyne's going to border the town of Fort Mill, South Carolina, which is another very desirable place to live in this area. Now, uptown Charlotte is only about 30 minutes, but if you are commuting during rush hour, you're going to be looking at anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. The Charlotte Douglas Airport is about 25 minutes away. And the area of Ballantyne is highly rated in terms of places to live and schools. According to Realtor.com, this zip code ranks as the 42nd hottest zip code in the nation. Niche.com ranks it as the #1 spot to raise a family in Mecklenburg County, and #1 for public schools, and #7 best zip codes for families in the entire state. So Ballantyne is going to be broken down into Ballantyne East and Ballantyne West. They're going to be divided by Johnston Road, also known as 521. And this road is going to stretch all the way through Ballantyne down Fort Mill. And this is going to be one of the busiest roads in Ballantyne, probably Fort Mill as well. So if you decide to move to Ballantyne, learn the back roads, because you do not want to be stuck on Johnston Road during rush hour. It is pretty brutal. Niche.com ranks Ballantyne East as the top 7th neighborhood in Charlotte for families and #12 top neighborhoods in Charlotte overall. Both Ballantyne East and Ballantyne West will have an A report card. Now, most of their marks will be the same, with the exception of Ballantyne West having a B for cost of living and Ballantyne East having a C+. Now, personally, I don't know if I agree with the difference. Both sides of Ballantyne are incredibly comparable. There really isn't much difference between the two. Ballantyne really isn't that big of an area to see a big difference. But I guess if I had to tell you one thing that might be different, Ballantyne East might have more residential neighborhoods, where Ballantyne West still has a lot of residential neighborhoods, but you will have more commercial space. But overall, they're very similar. But if you are from Ballantyne, leave us a comment and let us know what you think. What are the big differences between the two, and what side do you prefer to live on? And by the way, if you're new here, my name is Milena. I'm a local realtor in the Charlotte area. If you have any questions about buying a house, selling a house, or relocating, do not hesitate to reach out. Here's all my info, and it's also down below. So moving on to the lifestyle in Ballantyne. Now, one of the standout features of living here is that all of your conveniences and recreation is going to be right there. You really never have to leave this part of town. I've actually had a client refer to this as the Ballantyne bubble. It's a very self-contained area. For grocery stores, you're going to have multiple Harris Teeters, Publix, and Sprouts. There are plenty of doctor's offices, salons, gyms. You'll be right by the shops at Blakeney and Stonecrest. Both are going to have Targets. And a key standout is Ballantyne Corporate Park. This is going to be a massive business park that features tons of businesses, from startups to Fortune 500 companies. And it really is more than just a business park, because there are beautiful green spaces and parks as well. And in terms of recreation, for a suburb, there's actually a lot to do. And if anyone says that Ballantyne does not have a lot to do, I don't think they're thinking of it in the context of being a suburb. No, you will not have a wild, crazy night out in Ballantyne. You're not going to have this crazy nightlife, but you will have plenty of options for entertainment. Now, as of now, you're going to have the Ballantyne Village, which is a collection of restaurants, salons, and boutiques. You have movie theaters, and Topgolf and Carowinds are both 15 to 20 minutes away. And the Ballantyne Hotel is a luxury hotel with amazing food and drinks, and you can actually go and hang out at the Ballantyne without having to stay there. They also have a really popular spa, and you can do a day pass and utilize their indoor and outdoor pool. You'll also have golf courses and plenty of parks and greenways throughout the area as well. And even still, that's all of just what we're seeing today. But as I mentioned before, the Ballantyne that we see today is really changing, and this is going to be a perfect segue into Ballantyne Reimagined. So Ballantyne is undergoing a massive transformative redevelopment known as Ballantyne Reimagined. And this project is reshaping the landscape of Ballantyne. And this is already an incredibly nice and established community. So this project is essentially making it Ballantyne 2.0. And I actually asked ChatGPT to describe this project, and it came up with the term urban suburb. And I feel like that's a perfect phrase. So the goal of the project is to enhance the convenience and opportunities in the community. So they are adding new amenities, housing, retail, green spaces, all with walkability. Now, phase 1 just concluded at the end of 2023, and it included Ballantyne Backyard, which is a park with over 100 acres of green space, walking trails and ponds, a stream park. There's an amphitheater which hosts events throughout the year. And my favorite feature is the Ballantyne Bowl, and this is going to be a new epicenter for food and entertainment. It's going to open in spring 2024. It's going to feature restaurants, rooftop bars, and gardens. And one thing that I've always loved about Charlotte is that we really appreciate local restaurants. So some of our most popular and trendy restaurants and bars are almost always local. And if you look at the leases that have already been signed for the Ballantyne Bowl, it's some of the best restaurants in the city. So it's really going to change the way that people view Ballantyne. And one of the big standouts of Ballantyne Reimagined is O&B. So if you're not familiar with O&B, this is one of our oldest and most loved breweries in Charlotte. And it's not your typical brewery. So the food, landscaping, and aesthetic are all just incredibly nice. And it's known to be incredibly family friendly. So like their flagship, the new O&B is going to have a family zone and a playground. It's really going to just fit seamlessly into the culture of Ballantyne. Now this whole project is expected to increase the already really high demand for the Ballantyne area. And if there is one really big con to living in Ballantyne, it would have to be the traffic and the congestion. Like a lot of areas in Charlotte, the population in this area just really outpaced what the roads could handle. So it can be a big pain to navigate the roads. But one really good thing about this project is that city officials and developers were already very much aware of this issue before this project was even a thought. So one of the major focuses is actually enhancing the road infrastructure of this area. So they're going to put a strong effort into improving the traffic flow and making commuters smoother for everyone in Ballantyne. So on to my favorite topic, real estate. The median home price in the zip code for a single family home is $670,000. And by comparison, that is about 39% higher than most homes in the Charlotte metro, with the median home price for condos and townhomes being around $375,000, which is about 7% higher than the rest of Charlotte metro. Because you are in the city limits, you will have to pay county and city property taxes, and that's going to be 0.96 of the appraised value. Now, most of the houses in this area are going to be built between 1990 and today, and a lot of the communities are going to have amenities like pools, walking trails, and parks, and most of the communities will come with a small HOA to account for those amenities. So now that we've talked about the logistics and the statistics, let's check out some neighborhoods. First up, we have Thornhill with a median home price of $595,000, average square feet between 1,400 and 3,500. And this will be one of, if not the oldest neighborhoods in Ballantyne. The houses were built from 1989 up until the late 90s. And this neighborhood does come with amenities. You'll have a clubhouse, outdoor pool, tennis court, and beautiful walking trails throughout this neighborhood, as well as an actual nature preserve. And one thing that is unfortunate about doing these videos this time of year is that you don't get to see how beautiful some of these neighborhoods are with the greenery and the foliage. And because Thornhill is one of the older neighborhoods in Ballantyne, you really do get that beautiful North Carolina foliage and just natural beauty that you do not see in these newer developments. So next up, we have Ballantyne Meadows. This neighborhood is broken into two different sections. The first section has a median home price of $441,000, with most of the homes being between 1,300 to 1,800 square feet. They were built in the early 2000s, around 2001. And these were built by a really cool niche builder called Saucy Burbank. You'll notice the style of homes are going to be more of a Charleston, low country style. And the houses are pretty small, but they have so much character. Now, the lots are going to be really small in this section as well, so it is great if you do not care about lawn care. But you'll also notice in this video that the roads are really pretty tight, but it's still a very cool neighborhood. And the next section of Ballantyne Meadows is going to come in with a median home price of $607,000. Sizes are going to range from 1,800 up to 3,500. Homes were built between 1998 and 2003. And you'll notice it's going to be quite different from the other section. Way bigger lots, way bigger houses, wider streets. Even the houses are going to be more of that late 90s Americana traditional style. This section is also a lot bigger than the previous section, so you will have more homes to choose from. And our next neighborhood is Kensington at Ballantyne, with a median home price of $985,000. The average square footage is between 3,500 and 4,900. Homes were built between 1995 and 2001. And this is the smallest neighborhood on the list, but also the most grand. Lots of beautiful, massive brick houses with incredibly manicured lawns. If I were to describe this neighborhood in one word, it would be elegant. And there are a lot of neighborhood pockets like Kensington in this area. They're all going to be pretty small and have very similar style homes and price points. Last on our list, we have Kenilworth with a median home price of $648,000. Homes were built between 1998 and 2001, and the sizes are going to range from 2,000 to 5,300 square feet. And maybe because we filmed this right after Christmas, but this neighborhood was really giving me Home Alone vibes. I don't know if it was just me, so let me know if you think the McAllisters would call this neighborhood home. There you have it, everything you need to know about living in Ballantyne. If you have any questions, here's all my information. It is also down below. I would love the opportunity to chat, and I look forward to connecting.